Okay, so I selected a very long topic title to be voted, but it was too long, so I selected a shorter one, work on your ideas as intro. I think there are a lot of tools, mostly everyone in the room knows, and it all starts with an idea and people start to think about, okay, what can I make out of my idea? And my goal is for you, if you have an idea, start to think about it, try to learn. You might fail, you might end up. I think some of them founded their own companies. For some, it's a side project, but it can also be part of community. So there's a lot of ways you can do something. Now let's go back to my long title, The Future of Combined Wi-Fi and 5G for Scalable Surveys. It all starts with an idea. So I think last year, WLPC, I did a demo of some VR stuff. You can walk through your building, see your Wi-Fi data. We do this with measured and simulated data, with cellular and some other technologies. So it was start of the idea, but it needs to be developed. So if you have an idea, sometime you need to start. And we started with the VR thing. So we got a lot of feedback. People ask for stuff. Was great. We developed some more apps. So this one is from Asseltex, for example. If you was on Cisco Live or on some of the Asseltex trade shows, they're using the application to show within a VR how is your Wi-Fi doing with different types of antennas. So we have a small barcode scanner. You go to a rack, scan it, and see how fast is it, depending on your antenna design. But what I'm mostly doing is site survey. That's most of my time I spend with site surveys and problems and stuff around it. So one of the things, it's mostly, for my view, it's not scalable, right? You need trained engineers, you need expensive hardware and so on to get good results. And you don't do this usually for small branch offices because it's too expensive. I got a lot of requests from my German customers to check locations in the US, but traveling there, takes some time. So you also have warehouse as example. You do it once. Hopefully, in Germany, a lot of customers even don't pay you for validating the warehouse after it's open. So that is the idea, and then we need to think about a little bit more. It's Wi-Fi, but 5G is coming up, a lot more different technologies people are interested in. So we have a product, it's called Netztester 2 from NQT. It's a network testing unit that do typically cellular, 2, 3, 4, and 5G network testing. But it also have Wi-Fi integrated 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So that's a device, how it looks like. It's a standalone device, and we can optionally bring in 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So this is what we are adding right now, having more capabilities of talking also about 6 gigahertz networking. The good part is it doesn't use a cable. So it's not connected via cable with your device. And what we are doing as a standalone device, we need to test an idea. We have a device, we have to think about our idea, but now we need to test it. So we have an app on the iPhone, iPad, and it needs to be tested for a survey. How is it working? So no questions on the 10 talk, but what is the most changing environment? A lot of customers telling me their environment changing every day. But it's not every time really happens, people are just talking about it. But there's a location I know it changed every time. So it's an IKEA store. Not sure how they do with fire exit or whatever, but every time I'm going to an IKEA store, it looks different. I guess they never check for Wi-Fi because they're changing environment every day. So I did a test with our app on Monday, used the time and play around a little bit with it. So how does it look like? Bottom floor of the IKEA warehouse. You just can use it, scan, walk. And I move my hand a lot to get more data, but you can also very easily just walk and you don't need to move anything. You don't need to train someone. You just need to walk. That's all. So if you're done, you need to explore your idea. You need to think, okay, what information does I need? How can I show it? So for us, we have a web interface because the app is simple. There is nothing to see. Goal is untrained person. I don't need to see anything in the app, but I like to see something in the web interface to explore my data. So you will get a floor plan, what is based on a 3D scan. There are also different options, but the good part here on the 3D floor plan is you can have different views on it. So if you never was been in a warehouse on your customer side when a problem occurs, you don't know how does it looks like. We have customers, they're having packaging stacking up on between the racks and saying, hey, Wi-Fi is not working, or yeah, the IP is behind it. If you have a simple floor plan, you don't know about it. So you can easily see, and that is why I moved with my hand a little bit more on the first part, you can easily see where is the high rack empty and where is it more full. So you get a more detailed idea of your location, but we don't put textures on it for data privacy. So you don't see people, you don't see company data and other stuff, but you see what you need, how the location looks like at that point it's doing a survey. And then for sure, we need to have Wi-Fi data, put it on top, so that you can see how your Wi-Fi looks like, different SSID, different frequency band. And as we can do all of this with that device, it will also check for your cellular connection. So you can do in a one walk, you can only just see Wi-Fi data, you can also see cellular data. In case your customer is having a private 5G network or your customer is part of having one provider, you can easily check all of this information with the same walk. And yeah, now let's come to the last part, it's about scaling. So scaling is, for me, thinking about two parts. It's object size. So I did a full survey on the first floor of an IKEA store. You can see on the top left, I walked a little bit more where these small rooms are displayed that never looks like my houses, so it never fits what they're presenting, but it looks always perfect. So you can easily walk into every area, get an understanding of how does the location really looks, even if you're not was on site. It's not a flat floor plan, it's really how was the location during the point of survey. That's one part of the scaling. And the other part, so it's a device you can purchase already. It's below 2K, so it's not really expensive, but thinking about you have a more large-scaled location, you need to have something more cheaper. You might have a phone somewhere and you just can add a small sensor that costs a couple of bucks, and you can just let someone run on site without having everything additionally. So that's the other way we are working on it. It will be available soon. And that you have a very small device, cheap device, give you some data. It will not be a full survey comparing to collecting a lot of data, but it's very easy to use for everyone wherever in the world, and it has a good pricing for it. So, my final goal for you, if you have an idea, start to work on it, think about it, what can I make out of it? I think there are a lot of good samples in this room where people start to have an idea, have a problem, and try to find a solution. If you like to see our idea, there's a QR barcode. It opens your email address or your email program, and you can drop me an email, and we can have a talk about it. So we are having closed beta right now. We have devices available, and yeah, if someone like to test it, play around it, I have it here. You can walk with it. I also have the VR. If someone is interested in the VR, I just have it upstairs. Look into the ASLText part. Yeah, that's it.